The crystal chandelier caught the afternoon light as Diana Miller walked through the front door of her Newton mansion. Her eyes narrowed at the sight before her. Empty pizza boxes, soda cans, and snack wrappers scattered across her imported Italian marble. Tyler had promised to clean up after his friends left. Another broken promise. "Tyler, where are you?" Her voice echoed through the spacious foyer. From the kitchen emerged a tall, slender boy with styled blonde hair and piercing blue eyes. At 16, Tyler Miller carried himself with the practiced nonchalance of someone who believed rules were merely suggestions. He glanced at the mess without a hint of remorse. "What's up, Mom?" His tone dripped with indifference. Diana gestured at the disaster zone that was once her pristine living room. This is what's up. You promised to clean after Blake and his friends left." Tyler shrugged, scrolling through his phone. "I thought Maria could handle it." "Isn't that why you pay her?" Maria, their Mexican-American housekeeper who had been with the family for over a decade, appeared from the hallway, clearly uncomfortable being caught in another mother-son standoff. "That's not her responsibility, and you know it." Diana's voice tightened with frustration. Robert Miller entered, setting his designer briefcase on the counter. "What's going on here?" His eyes took in the scene, but instead of backing his wife, he smiled warmly at his son. "Looks like you guys had fun." "Robert, don't encourage this." Diana's exasperation was palpable. "Tyler needs to learn responsibility. He's just being a teenager, Robert placed a protective arm around Tyler. "Everyone deserves a break sometimes." What Diana and Robert couldn't see was the storm brewing inside their son. Behind Tyler's rebellious facade lay painful memories of his previous school, the whispered slurs in the hallway, the anonymous notes in his locker, the day he found fag spray-painted on his gym locker. Those wounds drove him to build walls of attitude and anger. Later that night, alone in his room, Tyler stared at his reflection. "They don't get it," he whispered. None of them do. His phone buzzed, a text from Jordan, the only friend who saw beyond his defenses. "You okay? Your mom seemed upset when I left." Tyler ignored it, choosing instead to scroll through Blake's Instagram stories. Parties, luxury cars, adoring followers. This was the shield he had chosen. Popularity through rebellion. Protection through defiance. If he couldn't be accepted for who he was, he'd make damn sure he was feared for who he pretended to be. Follow HeartStories for more powerful narratives about identity, family, and personal growth. Our stories don't just entertain, they mirror the complex journeys we all navigate in life. The blue light of the flat-screen TV cast eerie shadows across Tyler's face as midnight approached. School assignments remained untouched and on his desk while he binged another Netflix series. The upcoming midterms at Brookline Academy existed in a different universe from the comfortable cocoon he'd created on the leather sectional. Diana appeared in the doorway, her silk robe cinched tight around her waist. Disappointment etched on her face. "It's almost midnight on a school night. Tyler," "Just finishing this episode," he mumbled without looking up. "Your calculus teacher emailed me today." Diana stepped closer, blocking his view. "That's the third failing grade this semester. Do you realize we pay $55,000 annually for that school?" Tyler rolled his eyes. Here comes the money speech again. This isn't about money. It's about potential, your potential that you're throwing away. Her voice cracked slightly. "Brookline was supposed to be a fresh start for you." Robert appeared behind her, still in his work clothes despite the late hour. Diana let him finish his show. He's been through enough. And that's exactly the problem, Robert. Diana turned to her husband. "You treat him like he's made of glass. He doesn't need your pity. He needs guidance." Tyler watched his parents battle over him, as they had countless times before. His father's guilty conscience on full display, the same guilt that surfaced 3 years ago when Tyler came out. Robert had tried to hide his discomfort with expensive gifts and leniency, as if material things could compensate for his initial struggle with acceptance. His phone vibrated with a text from Jordan. Blake's posting about you again. Don't let him pull you down. Man. Tyler ignored it, knowing Jordan was right. Blake and his crowd weren't real friends. They were social climbers who'd welcomed Tyler for his family name and the massive house perfect for parties when parents were away. Their TikTok personas carefully cultivated for maximum followers. Their friendship conditional on Tyler maintaining his rebellious reputation. Later that week, Maria found Tyler alone in the kitchen, staring into space. "Those friends of yours," she said softly while chopping vegetables. "They remind me of the boys who used to mock my accent when I first came here." Her hands never stopped working as she spoke. Sometimes the people who hurt others are carrying their own pain. Tyler looked at her, genuinely surprised by the insight. "I thought you hated me after yesterday." Maria shook her head. "I've watched you grow up, Tyler. The boy who used to help me bake cookies is still in there somewhere." Before Tyler could respond, Diana entered with a determined expression. "Maria, please ensure Tyler doesn't access any electronics. His father and I have decided he needs time to reflect on his priorities." As his mother confiscated his devices, Tyler felt a familiar rage building. But beneath it lay something he rarely acknowledged: fear. Fear that without his carefully constructed persona, there might be nothing left of him at all. The mansion felt like a prison to Tyler after 3 days without his phone or laptop. His fingers itched to check social media, to see what Blake and the others were posting, to maintain the carefully cultivated image he'd built. Isolation only intensified his determination to reclaim what his mother had taken. Tyler found Maria dusting in the living room, her back to him as she reached for a high shelf. "Maria, where's my phone?" His voice carried a dangerous edge. "Your mother put everything in her office safe," Maria replied without turning around. "She asked me to make sure." "I don't care what she asked," Tyler cut in, stepping closer. "This is ridiculous. I need my stuff." Maria finally faced him, her expression gentle but firm. "Tyler, please. Your mother is trying to help you." Something inside Tyler snapped. All the frustration, the fear of losing his social standing, the buried pain of past rejection, it erupted like a volcano. "You don't get to tell me what's good for me. You're just the help." He stormed toward the entertainment center where the remote control sat. At least he could distract himself with television. Maria moved quickly, positioning herself between Tyler and his goal. "Your mother was very clear. Tyler, no electronics until... Get out of my way." The shove was impulsive, thoughtless, a split-second decision Tyler would replay in his mind countless times afterward. Maria stumbled backward, her head catching the corner of the marble fireplace with a sickening crack. She crumpled to the floor, a thin line of blood trickling from her temple. The sight of blood froze Tyler in place. The rage evaporated instantly, replaced by horror. Maria, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to." Diana entered the room, dropping her briefcase at the doorway when she saw Maria on the floor. "What happened?" Her gaze darted between her injured housekeeper and her son's pale face. "Tyler, what did you do?" For once, Robert didn't defend his son. His expression showed genuine disappointment as he helped Maria to a sitting position. "I think we need to take her to the hospital." "No hospital," Maria whispered, touching her head gingerly. "My nephew just started at Boston Medical. He can check me." Tyler watched the adults discussing Maria's injury as if from a great distance. A sudden realization cut through his numbness. Maria was afraid of hospitals despite being a legal citizen for years. His privilege had never been more apparent or more shameful. Jordan visited that evening after hearing what happened. Unlike Blake, who had sent a laughing emoji when Tyler managed to sneak a message through his computer, Jordan came in person. "You know she's always covered for you, right?" Jordan said quietly as they sat in Tyler's room. "When your mom wanted to ground you last month for skipping school, Maria told her you were helping her with errands." Tyler stared at his hands. "I didn't know that." "Maybe there's a lot you don't know," Jordan replied. "Like how Blake talks about you when you're not around, or how exhausted your mom looks lately." For the first time in years, Tyler felt the walls he'd built beginning to crack, not from his parents' discipline or his peers' pressure, but from the weight of his own actions and their consequences for someone who had shown him nothing but kindness. When Diana announced she had hired a tutor to help Tyler catch up academically, he expected another stern, middle-aged teacher with zero understanding of his life. What he didn't expect was Alex Thompson, 22, MIT student, with an undercut hairstyle and tattoos peeking from beneath his rolled-up sleeves. "You've got to be kidding me," Tyler muttered as Alex unpacked textbooks at the dining room table. "I don't need another queer guy telling me how to live my life." Alex raised an eyebrow, unruffled by the hostility. "Actually, you do need someone to tell you how not to fail calculus. The gay part is just coincidence." His casual confidence was unsettling. Tyler couldn't provoke him the way he could his parents or teachers. "Whatever. Let's get this over with." Tyler slouched into a chair, determined to be as difficult as possible. 3 frustrating hours later, Alex closed the textbook. "You're smart. Your problem isn't ability. It's attitude," Tyler scoffed. "Save the pep talk. You don't know anything about me." "I know more than you think." Alex leaned forward, his expression serious. Rich kid, struggling with identity, pushing everyone away, hanging with people who validate your worst impulses. Sound familiar? You don't? 2 years ago, that was me. Alex continued. Except when I got caught driving my dad's Porsche drunk at 17. My parents didn't hire a tutor. They kicked me out. He rolled up his sleeve, revealing a faded track mark. Took losing everything for me to realize I was using rebellion as an excuse not to deal with my actual problems. Tyler stared at the scar, momentarily speechless. "What happened?" "A teacher found me sleeping in the school parking lot. Instead of calling the cops, she helped me get into a program. I got clean, got a scholarship, worked 3 months at the..." Alex's eyes held at Tyler's gaze steadily. "The difference between us isn't sexuality or intelligence. It's that I had to face consequences you've been sheltered from. I'm facing consequences now," Tyler protested weakly. Your parents paid Maria's medical bills. You're still in your mansion with your private school education." Alex gathered his books. "The hardest prison to escape is the one where you're both the prisoner and the warden. You're hiding behind this spoiled brat persona because you're afraid of who you might be without it." The words hit Tyler with unexpected force, penetrating defenses that had withstood years of therapy and parental lectures. After Alex left, he found himself replaying their conversation, uncomfortable with the recognition he felt in Alex's story. That night, Tyler texted Jordan for the first time in weeks, "Can you come over tomorrow? Need to talk." When Jordan arrived, they sat on the roof outside Tyler's bedroom window, their childhood spot for serious conversations. "I think I screwed up everything," Tyler admitted, his voice barely audible over the distant traffic. "Not just with Maria, with everyone." "Probably," Jordan agreed, but there was no judgment in his tone. "So what are you going to do about it?" Tyler watched the sunset paint the Boston skyline in gold and pink. "I don't know how to be different. This version of me, it's all I've had since we moved here." "Maybe that's the problem," Jordan suggested. "You've been playing a character instead of figuring out who Tyler Miller actually is." The Brookline Academy Library had never seen so much of Tyler Miller before. Day after day, he claimed the same corner table, surrounded by textbooks and notes. Alex sat beside him twice weekly, guiding without coddling. What began as mandatory tutoring evolved into genuine academic engagement as Tyler discovered an aptitude for literature and political science hidden beneath years of apathy. When not studying, Tyler attended therapy sessions, something he'd previously dismissed as rich kid problems. The therapist helped him recognize how fear of rejection had driven his destructive behavior. Each session peeled away layers of protective anger, revealing the wounded boy beneath. Tyler wrote Maria a letter, 16 pages of raw honesty and genuine remorse. He convinced his parents to offer her a better salary and benefits package upon her return. The day Maria came back to work, Tyler gathered the entire family in the living room. "I've been selfish and cruel," he admitted, his voice steady despite the emotion behind it. "Especially to you. Maria, you've been more family to me than I deserved. There's no excuse for how I treated you." Maria's eyes glistened. "We all make mistakes. Tyler, not like this." Tyler shook his head. "I'm trying to be better. Not just saying it this time, actually doing the work." Diana watched her son with quiet amazement. Robert placed a supportive hand on Tyler's shoulder, genuine pride replacing the guilty permissiveness of before. At school, Tyler faced his biggest challenge when he encountered Blake bullying a freshman outside the cafeteria. The old Tyler would have joined in or walked away. The new Tyler stepped forward. "Leave him alone," Tyler's voice carried across the hallway. Blake sneered. "Look who's finally showing his face. Thought your mommy had you locked up. I'm not doing this anymore. Blake, the whole fake popular kid routine, I'm done." The confrontation cost Tyler his former social status, but opened doors to authentic connections with classmates who shared his interests rather than his facade. Family therapy became a weekly ritual. During one session, Robert finally addressed his initial reaction to Tyler's coming out. "I was wrong," he admitted. "I tried to buy your forgiveness instead of earning it. I'm learning to be a better father." With Alex's encouragement, Tyler started a support group for LGBTQ+ students at Brookline. Their first meeting attracted only 3 people. By the 3rd month, they needed a larger room. One evening, Diana found Tyler in the kitchen helping Maria prepare dinner, something the old Tyler would have considered beneath him. "Mom," he said, turning from the cutting board, "I never thanked you for not giving up on me when everyone else would have." Diana embraced her son, recognizing the young man emerging from the troubled teen. That's what family does. We hold on through the storms. The transformation wasn't perfect or complete. Tyler still struggled with impulse control and occasionally fell into old patterns. But he was learning that growth isn't about perfection. It's about direction and persistence. Have you ever experienced a transformation like Tyler's? Share your story in the comments below. Sometimes the most powerful changes happen when we face our deepest fears. Subscribe to HeartStories for more authentic narratives that challenge and inspire.